So the guest today is, she has more than 12 years of experience, and she is driven by her passion and goal of creating values for herself as well as for others. After completing her formal education, she got certified into a few programs named as image consulting, diploma in counseling, psychology, child psychology, professional makeup artist. She's also a professional makeup artist, and she's done it from BLCC. As a counselor and as an image consultant and as a makeup artist, she has been working in different aspect of people's life. It is all about behavior, body language, appropriate clothes for the right occasion, physical appearance, uh, counseling, etc. Her forte is stress and anxiety, which I think we all are going through, which is unavoidable. And hence, I think this topic is really, really very important. So, her clients have been teachers, businessmen, women, housewives, students from all facets of life. She has been doing consulting for everyone. So here is Neha Ravi Chandran. Hi Neha, I welcome you, and it is
Hi,
a
Sapna.
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
It is a pleasure to have you here. With the vast experience you have, I am sure you will be adding great value to the audience. So Neha, just to
Thank
begin
you,
with, can you
Sapna.
please tell me something about yourself, your experience? How did you think of doing image consulting? Yeah, why did you think of doing image consulting? A little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I think you've given me an amazing introduction. I don't need any further, explanation. But yes, how I got into image consulting. So I used to be a part of the corporate world, and after that, I became a mother back to back. I'm a mother of two children, and so post that, I was not too sure that I would like to continue in the corporate world. So, image consulting. We were exploring on different programs which are value creating in terms of physical and mental health for people. So, counseling psychology was one of the programs which I definitely wanted to do, because as an HR, I participated in a lot of employee relations and issues, and
Right.
even in counseling them. So that instinct and that knack was already there. I just had to groom it and polish it. And besides that, the counseling program, image consulting was another value add, because if your inner and outer both are not
Yeah.
balanced, body and mind have to be in balance. If that is not there, then it's an incomplete way of looking at the holistic person, because we
Right.
are not we are what we think as well, right?
True, true.
So that's how image consulting also came into picture.
Right, so very true. And we as image consultant, we can understand it very nicely, how important it is, how important is our outer appearance as well. And it creates a psychological effect as well as giving confidence, etc. So I'm sure we'll be
Yes.
discussing it further. But just taking it ahead, what is the best thing that you like in whatever you are doing?
Okay. So the best part is seeing people change, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. Their response to different situation changes. They start introspecting, they start looking at themselves in a better light, building a better self image. And, one good thing I have learned and have seen and observed in my clients, my students, is that they stop looking for validation from others. Now, when I say this, this is very, very important, because our society, if if I'll have to give you an example, let's say there are celebrities, right? There are celebrities which are educated, some of them are not educated, and how they have polished themselves. Kangana Ranaut, if I have to give an example, she, when she joined the industry, she couldn't speak. Her
True.
accent, her English was really, she really had to work, but she didn't give up. She worked on every aspect of it. And now if you look at it, once she physically improved herself, then started her spiritual journey. So you have seen her connecting to Sadhguru, doing so many, yoga related programs. So it's like, she has completely transformed herself. And this is what we also do as image consultant, as counselors. Obviously, different people have different way of doing things.
True,
So
true.
it's up to you which one you relate to. You can go for it.
Yes, and
So
what I like the best is what you say that people don't need validation. They become confident
yes,
enough. So very aptly said that confidence is not about standing in front of people and speaking, but it is also about accepting what you are. So that is where I think we
absolutely.
image consultant and counselor work the most. So
Yes.
beautifully you have put it up. So Neha, recently this incident of Sushant Singh Rajput. So I think it has shaken the whole world, rather complete India and maybe the film industry. And we all are somewhere forced to think on about all about stress, how much stress to take, why to take, how to take, and how to deal with it. So there are two words that come in front of me. First is stress and second is anxiety. So to begin with, I want to know, are they both same or are they different, or the ways to tackle them is different, or they are just synonyms? I mean, so can you please tell me what it is?
Yeah, sure. So, in simple words, if I have to explain stress and anxiety, stress is an action and anxiety is a reaction. So, that's
Right.
the simplest form I can explain the viewers and the audience who will be listening or who are listening to the interview,
Right.
because stress is something which happens on day-to-day basis. Probably throughout the day we go through different kind of stress, and stress
Right.
is not always bad. Okay, stress
Yes.
is not always bad. When I have a presentation and I am stressing about it, it's not because I am not excited to do it, but because I want to make sure that I should be able to present it well. My audience or the person who's going to listen to it should be able to relate to it and should have a lot of takeaways from it. So that's the
Right.
whole so that stress is pushing me to do something good and positive.
Right.
Yeah. As But then stress moves towards anxiety when your work starts getting your daily chores are getting disturbed with that stress. You're not able to focus. You start getting aches and pains in your body. You lose your appetite, and then anxiety can lead to further somatic and psychosomatic disorders.
So you said a sentence wherein if your body is not able to take the stress, so how can we train our body to take the stress?
Okay, so there is something we practice in psychology that is called mindfulness. And mindfulness is nothing but living in the present. And
Right.
when you start practicing that, living in the present and this moment, and not
Right.
worrying about the past because it's done, and not worrying about the future because
Future.
you can't control. Yeah, so that is one of the practice which is really recommended by a lot of psychologists, and this is mindfulness can be done by various things. Let's say if people find it difficult to get into a routine, then they need to write down their routine, that this to this time I'm going to do this to this time I'm going to do this. So when you do that, you are actually digressing your mind from the thoughts you had, and you are bringing the focus onto the things you want to do. So
Right.
it could be cooking, it could be cleaning, it could be spending time with children, reading a book,
True.
listening to music, doing yoga. And the second thing, which is very, very important, is people need to go out, sit in the sun, be close to the nature. It has to start from, let's say, if you are not an outdoor person,
Mm.
even if you're not an outdoor person, I will still recommend that please spend some time in the sun for 5 to 10 minutes or 20 minutes. If you can do that for an hour, it's going to be great, because the way nature heals us, nothing can heal us like that. So nature has the power. Nature is a God's gift, for us to get healed. And
Right.
people, because it is present in abundance, we take it for granted. But actually,
Right.
if you sit in the nature, you will feel so refreshed and different.
True, so very true. And at times I feel, you need to spend time with your own self. Uh, sitting with nature, and it really helps. So any quick exercises that maybe you can say that we can do while we are in stress? Say, just giving an example, suppose I am supposed to speak in public, right? And just before that I have some stress. So can you tell me some quick ways how I can relieve it, or how I can have a control on
Okay, so the first thing you can do is so pranayam is a very good exercise.
it? Right.
Like focusing on your breathing,
Hmm.
and so what you can do is you can bloat your stomach out,
Hmm.
and then you need to release the air out. So
Right.
once you blow, you are like inhaling, and then you have to exhale. So when you
Right.
bring the focus to inhalation and exhalation, then you will feel much calmer. Your nerves is going to soothe. So this is one of the best practice I recommend a lot of people.
Right. So I think deep breathing basically. So even if you are standing anywhere, if you are going for a presentation, you have a stress, maybe there and there itself, you can do deep breathing. So what would you talk about overthinking, and how can we stop doing that? Because ultimately it brings stress.
Yes, you are right. Very true. There are clients, who have come and said that, I can't stop thinking about it
Yeah.
constantly. And then I'm coming back to what I said. It's because their mind and body connection, they are not well connected.
Right.
They are now living, from a point of view. They are seeing a life from a very limited view. They are
Right.
not trying to expand their horizon. Now when you don't do that, obviously you are blocking your view, you're blocking your thinking. So when we go out and expose ourselves in the nature, it opens our mind, and then when we come back and we do things and organize our life, it's the results would be much better. That's why I am constantly enforcing that be close to the nature, because that really rejuvenates everybody. So somebody who is constantly overthinking, again, they need to get into a routine. Routine is a must.
Right.
So there is a saying now that some if you want to make a difference in your life,
Hmm.
you follow it for 30 days. If you want it to become a part of your life in terms of lifestyle, then you follow it for 90 days and you will
Yeah.
see the difference. So 3 months is what you push yourself to do it, and then you will see it's just going to become a habit. It's
Right.
going to become a part of your routine. And when you don't do it one day, you will feel, oh, I miss, I am not feeling good about it, I need to do it, and you will
Right.
force yourself.
To do it.
Make sure that even if you take a 1 day break, the next day it's going to come back and you're going to be following the same routine. So
Yeah,
that's how.
it was so very true, Neha. And I also feel that the first step of changing yourself, doing anything, is to realize it. So I think the moment you start realizing that you are overthinking, you need to train your mind to stop yourself there and there itself, and not worry about what is going to happen in the past. Just as you said before, that we should not. So mindfulness, what you talked about. I think that would really work. So now,
Yes.
coming to the corporate world, how can we handle stress in the corporate world or at the workplace? So there can be many reasons of stress, maybe politics or long working hours, or stress of too much of work. Then there can be different kind of stress. So how do we manage stress at our workplace?
Okay. I think it's a very, very good question, especially at this time. A lot of people have been saying that, it's a bonus to work from home. But for a lot of women,
Yeah,
it's become even tough because everybody is home. The
yeah,
me time they used to get for an hour or 2 hours when the kids used to go to school or the husband used to go for work. So it was a me time for them. That is
yeah,
completely
true.
gone out of window because of this COVID-19. So now how they are balancing their work, home, again, an important aspect, routine. Come back to a routine, give a timetable to everybody in the house so that they don't invade into your space.
Right.
Follow it through 90 days, and then you will see, practice mindfulness every day and you will see the change. And also I think the management, or the top level management plays a very important role in creating an environment for the employees.
Right.
uh, the Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can. I can.
I thought I lost you. So the top management plays a very, very important role, Sapna. And if they are not creating that environment, which is open door policy, and they are not creating an environment where people are able to express themselves, then the stress is going to increase. Because as a counselor also, first thing I tell my client is, please speak what you have inside of you, take everything out,
Right.
because there are people who don't get people around to talk to, who are genuine, who will not judge them,
Yeah.
uh, and that makes their life even more difficult.
Right.
One good listener around is like, like a bonus these days.
True, true, so true. So I can relate it to one incident which had happened. So I had met someone so that female, she was working in an NGO who helps the people who are doing suicide. So anyone who's doing suicide, so this is a helpline. First of all, I really wonder. I asked her, why would someone doing suicide call you up? So she said that all those who do suicide, 95% of them have an immense desire to talk to someone, when they are going to take this step. So hence they call us and they talk to us about it. Why are they why are they going to commit, or why are they going to take
Planning.
this step? Yeah.
Yeah.
And but she says we cannot. So we tried in the beginning, we tried quite a few times to track them and to reach to them, but it is not possible. So then I asked her, so what do you do actually to save them? So she said, nothing. The only thing is we are able to convert 10 to 12% people not to take that step only just by listening to them. So I think listening is a big virtue these days. People don't have time to listen to each other, and to give an ear to someone can be one of the biggest thing, I feel. So very rightly said by you
Just
that, yeah,
I just want to add something here,
yeah,
Sapna.
yeah.
When we listen to people,
Hmm.
how many times, if you see our society or the people around, how many of them will listen to you without judging you, without
Hmm.
saying that, oh, this is right or this is wrong, putting things in black and white. Because life is not black and white, right? There are gray shades, there are stories, there are baggages. We don't know what the person has, which background the person is coming from, or
Right,
what is their story. So you
right,
have to be a listener who's gonna not judge them for who they are.
right. So
And
very
this
true.
I can, yeah, this I can.
Please speak. Yeah, there was some internet
Your
issue.
what? Hello?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please, please
I
continue.
know there was a pause there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so, the challenge is that I have clients who are male and who wish to become a female. I have clients who are female and relate to men, and they want to, change their gender to men.
Yeah,
And
true.
there are so many things. People don't want to have a family, as they don't believe in the, family unit. They want to be alone, they want to adopt, they want to work, for an NGO. They want to travel, they have different dreams.
Yeah,
And if kind of people will go out and express their views in the society, just imagine the kind of criticism they will go through.
yeah,
Correct? Because they don't align, their thinking doesn't align with the ways of the world.
yeah.
But
True,
who
true,
decides what is the benchmark of the world? Who decides
true.
that?
One problem that I think everyone faces is an issue. If there is an unhappening in the family, something which should not have happened, how to tackle that situation or what to speak to that family member. So, say if there is a death in the family, how to handle that situation, that stress, that environment, and what to talk to. So, even if you give a call, when you give a call to someone who has had an incident in the family, what to talk to those people is a big challenge, and and then we tend to avoid it. So, how to handle it? Can you please, if you could share it?
Yes, it's a very good question, Sapna, because uh, we humans, we are very good at expressing ourselves in happy
During
events.
happy times,
But
yeah.
yes, but when it comes to difficult times or difficult situations, people either become quiet or they kind of, cut themselves away from everybody, and they don't want to face it. So I think when somebody's had a loss in their family, the best thing is to go and see them face to face, and that moment you don't have to speak anything, you know
Okay.
because we all think that we have to speak. No, we it's not. I think empathy, connecting with the eyes, a hug, even folded hands like a namaskar position, uh, and holding their hands together. If they are folding their hands, these are very small gestures, but they play a very emotional role, because please understand that when somebody's had a loss, they are also facing the others, outsiders, and
Right.
they are controlling and containing their emotions. Maybe if people not visiting them, they would have kind of shut themselves, from the world, disconnect. So these rituals are very, very important part of our life. If these rituals are not there, the person may just feel lost. So
True.
these
Very
rituals,
true.
they are bringing us together. They are making sure that the people who've had a loss, they don't sink in completely. There is a society support given to them. So
True.
when I say society support, it doesn't mean it has to be verbal. You don't have to be constantly speaking.
Yeah.
Silence also plays. Just giving them a hug, a pat on their shoulder, just holding them. All these are small strokes, positive strokes, or positive gestures which reflect empathy and play a very, very important role, Sapna. So this is how you can start.
Like that communication is not about what you speak. So we communicate through silence, we communicate through touch, we communicate through hug, maybe also through expressions. So that is how we can express. I've seen people who would just go and keep on repeating whatever has happened, and that actually puts the other person in a bad situation, in a worse situation, wherein they start recalling again. So because they actually don't know how to behave, they don't know what to do. So I think that is the best thing that you can do, is you can console them just by a hug or maybe a pat, and just telling them that you are there whenever needed. you know uh,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that would be a best way. So just moving ahead, I wanted to ask, we are in India, we stay in a joint family, and especially for women, it is how to handle the stress of a joint family, because it is so rightly say that when there are more people staying together, I'm sure you're going to have clashes. And so there are benefits, there are advantages, there are disadvantages of staying together. So how do you think can women handle the stress of staying within the family, and also as a working woman? So if you're a working woman, you have to manage the house, you have to manage the office, you have to manage everyone's expectations. So how can you do it in a better way?
Okay. Uh, it's a very valid and a good question. I handle this a lot of times when I do couple counseling. And
Right.
one of the important things which I tell the couple is boundaries, defining boundaries. When
Right.
we define boundaries, people don't invade those boundaries, Sapna. It's because I have allowed people to, emotionally, verbally abuse me and say whatever, whenever they want to say. And I have not told them that this is where
You
your
need to
freedom
stop.
stops at my nose, right? Yeah, you need to stop. And when women don't do that, then people start invading into their space. And then women feel that everybody is coming to me. Why can't they just do something on their own? So,
Very truly said, after maybe these many years of my life of experience, after becoming a counselor, this is what I have started feeling, that whatever is happening with you, if people tell you something, if they avoid you, if they criticize you, if they love you, if they don't give you importance, it is all because of you. You are responsible for the behavior, what others do, the way they behave with you. It is you who are responsible, because that is what you have let them do. you know
correct,
you need
correct.
to tell them that, okay, so I'm not going to take it, or this is what I can handle, I cannot handle more than that. So very truly said, I really, really 100% believe in what you said. And so I always feel, had if God comes and asks me, Sapna, one thing that you would want to do, I would say that I would want to be in the life of a man for maybe 1 hour, because I actually want to, as a counselor, I would really want to learn and understand how do they think, what is it that is different for them from women. So again, here I would want to ask, do men handle stress in a different way as compared to women? Do they have
Yes,
different?
yes.
How do they do that?
So, see, a lot of men are, one second. So, a lot of men are they don't attach themselves to the problem the way women do. Women have the habit of getting in deep into everything, dissecting every aspect, every behavior, every emotion. Okay, and when it comes to men, they are more focused on the target. This is what I'm going to achieve. Now, how you achieve it, their emotions are not given so much of importance, and probably that's how the earlier generations have been. Now I see it's changing. That men have also started evaluating things, but yes, if I have to give a weightage to men and women emotionally in terms of how they cope with stress or how they handle situation, men are more disconnected in terms of getting too much engaged into the problem compared to women. Women really get into deep into everything.
There are certain people who are shy, who are introvert, and they face the stress of being into gathering or socializing. Right, so whenever they are put into a situation wherein they have to talk to people, when they have to face people, they are not ready to do it, and that is a big stress for them. So, what would you suggest, and any tips or suggestion that you would give it to them?
Okay, so I think, like you said, that there are people who are introvert. If they are introvert, then they will not worry about, that they are able to mix or not able to talk, because they will accept themselves. If there is lack of acceptance, only then the stress of interaction.
Yes, yes.
So that has to be understood first. And once it's understood, then obviously you have to work towards their communication, that which all aspects, where all they can start their communication in small ways. And, this is a very subjective question, because every person and individual is different. So you have to
Yeah.
understand their story and then kind of guide them that what needs to be done.
True, true. You are also a makeup artist. So can you tell us, can you give us certain tips on how to keep ourselves groomed during the lockdown? Because we cannot have a haircut, or maybe we cannot dye our hair, or we can also not go and do facials. So how can we update ourselves, keep ourselves groomed during this lockdown period? Is uh, a challenge for us.
So you will have fruits at home,
Hmm.
you will have coffee powder at home,
Yeah,
honey. So these are all home ingredients. We
right.
used to just paste out of it, and just used to do scrubbing on the face and use chickpea powder. These are very good home based skincare ingredients, which I recommend to a lot of people, and they are good for all skin type, because skincare is something which you should not indulge in which is not skin type
Right,
basis.
right.
Yeah, because I have seen many people posting a lot of videos with general skincare. They don't recommend that, okay, this is for this type of skin, this
Right.
is type of skin. So you have to understand. But banana, coffee, honey is typically, these three ingredients are something
They
which
are
can
meant for
be
everyone. Yeah.
all the skin type. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, and because I also have a, variety at home with the skin type. So I found these very handy. So
Right.
we used to do that is something you can do twice or thrice a week. You can even when it comes to doing facials, let's say if you want to do a cleanup,
Hmm.
you can grind oats, and
Okay.
you can mix it with pea powder, and then mix it with curd. And
Okay.
people who have so curd should be mixed with for skin type which is oily or combination. And if you have a dry skin, then you should not use curd, instead use milk. So that's how
Okay.
it works. Yeah.
Oh, acha,
So
I did not know that. Oh, that is a very nice tip. Yeah.
yeah, so chickpea powder, your then your oats, grinded oats or grated oats, and this curd or milk, depending on your skin type.
Same
Make a
time.
paste out of. Do a little scrubbing with that. After that, let it dry, semi-dry, and then you can scrub it. When you scrub it, all your dead skin will come out.
Right.
Post that, what you can do is you can either take steam. If you don't have a steamer, then you can rub ice cube. That's going to help close the open pores, because of scrubbing, your pores are open, right? So
Right.
you need to, so you need to close those pores. And then after rubbing the ice or taking steam, you just need to put a pack. Now pack again could be a simple pack. You can just mash a banana, coffee powder, and honey. Or if you don't have coffee powder, use rose water, or a little bit of cinnamon powder is also good. Cinnamon powder can hurt, like it is
Yeah.
a little
Uh,
so you don't
Harsh.
put
Yeah.
a lot.
Huh.
Yeah, so you have to be careful. And turmeric powder. Turmeric powder, I would never recommend, which are the packaged ones. You should always get the you get turmeric pieces, and you
Huh.
should grind it at home and then use it.
Acha. Okay.
So that's a pack, and then
And
moisturizer depending on your skin.
yeah, I am sure these are really going to help. Anything for the hair? Last tip for a hair, if you could give.
So hair again, the pack which I spoke about, your honey, banana, and coffee powder, that can be used for hair.
Oh, is
You
it?
can even, yeah, you can even put an egg in it, egg in that. That is one which is very good. It's going to soften your hair. Banana, especially banana, curd, honey, coffee.
But you know what I have experienced, so I have hardly used it. But when we use banana in hair, there are those little particles that stick up in your hair.
Yeah,
So how to remove them?
yes. So what you can do is that once you rinse off the entire pack from your hair, then oil your hair. Once you oil it, those particles will come out, and do hair wash the next day, not the same day. Don't shampoo your hair when you do these packs.
Okay, right. So otherwise, we would not have that effect that we want. Probably.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right,
So the
right.
hair oil, you can use a good cold pressed coconut oil. You can even mix some other herbs, different kinds of herbs. A lot of people boil them with garlic, ginger, so
Yeah,
that
they
essence
get the
comes in it.
extract. Yeah.
Yeah, extract of it. And I have seen garlic and the onion juice is very good for
Yeah,
hair.
so this is what I did. So I have put these kalonji dana,
Huh.
and so
Yeah,
which
yeah,
are
yeah,
onion
correct.
seeds. Yeah, so I
Yes,
put it
yes, I
into
know.
oil and then I'm using it for my hair as of now during the lockdown because we cannot go in for the spas and all.
So
So,
kalonji, you know what? It gives a color. So if you don't want to dye
oh,
your hair,
huh.
yeah. So if you don't want to dye your hair or color your hair, the best is to use kalonji in your hair with the hair oil. With constant use, you will see that your hair it will remain, mostly it will remain as is.
Oh, you won't need a dye. Oh, that is a good tip.
I Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good thing. Anyways, Neha, it was great having you here, and you gave us so many ways how to handle stress, manage them, as well as the beauty tips were wonderful at the end. So it was like a cherry on the cake. So
Thank you
thank
so
you so
much.
much for being a guest here.
Thank you so much, Sapna, for giving me an opportunity to connect with you. Even I really enjoyed, chatting and talking to you. It was a wonderful experience for me as well. Thank you so much.
Sure.